So I just thought I'd bring everyone to John William Goodwin's headstone. The reason being that he's, particularly with reference to who we're looking at today, he's one of the very few men that served and was killed at St Julian, which is the battle we're going to go and look at in a little bit more detail later. Most of the men that were killed were actually in an unknown grave. We noticed there are 4 others here from the Hertfordshire Regiment. More than likely they're going to be from the same engagement. Now, John William was from Arlesey originally, which is actually the Bedfordshire area, but he moved to Ashwell, just the other side of Baldock, and he's, as you can tell from his age, he's 39 years old, so he's a little bit older than most soldiers. And we know from records that he was actually part of the Lewis gun section of the Hertfordshire Regiment, and in the paperwork we'll get shortly there's actually a photograph of that, and it'd be nice to see if anyone can identify him. We know from records on the day, the morning of the 31st of July when the Hertfordshire Regiment attacked, he attacked with the 2 left-hand companies up towards an area called Triangle Farm that we're going to look at again. Now, Triangle Farm was probably the most dangerous area of the battlefield that morning. There was known as enfilade machine gun fire. It means there were crossed lanes of machine gun bullets coming in from both sides, along with very, very heavy shelling. And we know from various records that actually John survived the very first part of the attack, which is where most of the casualties were caused. He survived right up to the point where the Herts reached the ebb of their advance, if you like. They got to the very furthest point, and it was very soon realised that there weren't many troops left. The Germans realised this, of course, and decided that now was the right time for a counter-attack, and launched in heavy numbers at these men that were broken up and depleted in their ranks. And John Goodwin, who was part of the Lewis gun section, which was effectively a light machine gun at the time, they were, if you like, they were pretty much painted with a target on their backs, because to knock out weapons like a Lewis gun was to significantly reduce the enemy's firepower. And we know from family law that John was left perfectly alive up in the top corner of the field up towards Triangle Farm at St Julian. And the shame of it is that he was left there with 2 other men and a Lewis gun and told, stay here and do your best. As the Herts retired, they were trying to get as many men back over to Steenbeek as possible to save some of the troops, and he was never seen again. His wife was told that he was missing in action, and there are a series of letters that appear in a Hertfordshire newspaper which are increasingly more frantic, saying, please tell me what happened to him, we don't know, so on and so forth. And it wasn't until March of 1918 that the front line moved forward, just before the Great Spring Offensive, which pushed it right back again, that his body was found, and he was interred here today. And real shame, it was his 39th birthday, 31st July 1917.
It sounds as though he saved quite a lot of other people's lives.
Yes, I mean, the shame is we just don't know, because there was no one left to tell the tale, but certainly he was left, and he couldn't have been in much doubt that he was in big trouble. And you know, did his job to the last, and here he is. So, just one man out of all of these. Incredible story.
One of mine then was in the first half.